No.
And it's supposed to be the most romantic place on earth. Sure. Sure, why not? It's only what I've heard. That's what he bought today.
Captain speaking. Welcome back on board. I hope you had a wonderful day here.
夏威夷登陆第二大岛。
Pride that must be yours to have laid so costly a sacrifice upon the altar of freedom. It's a very heavy inscription. He said they would go anywhere, do anything that most people really had no desire, to go to or be in. Most Medal of Honors, most Purple Hearts, most medals, period, the 442nd. Now, coming up here on the right-hand side, down below, separated by the grave, the headstone says unknown. Now, the reason why, for those of you on the left, you wanted to check it out, National Memorial Cemetery. Mind you guys, this is way before DNA testing got sophisticated. So some of them even say unknown Pearl Harbor. Kind of like the tomb of the unknown soldier in Arlington, same concept here. Now, where the red flowers are here in the front, this is a man by the name of Lieutenant Colonel Ellison Oni. Time to explore into Waikiki if that's what you guys choose to do so. Now, to the right-hand side, down below, oh, this is a good, you see, remember those monkey pod trees, the canopy trees I was talking about? Now look at the pods hanging off. That's why it's called that, because it looks like a monkey's tail. That's why it's called monkey pod trees. These are young monkey pod trees. Now down below on the right-hand side, moving on to kind of a lighter note, you'll find three very famous schools. Now these schools are famous because of the people that they're named after. The first one that you're going to see here, which is looks like there's a little bit of construction going on in the center. The blue and white one, that is R.L. Stevenson Middle School, named after Robert Louis Stevenson. He was the famous author, the guy who wrote Treasure Island. He was actually very good friends with the king, last king of Hawaii, King David Kalakaua. And history shows it very good poker buddies as well. They play cards all the time. Now, where you see where the courts are, that is Lincoln Elementary, named after a guy just talked about, 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln. And then off in the distance there to the right-hand side, where the kind of watchtower thing is, and the red and yellow stadium bleacher structure, that is Roosevelt High School, named after another former president of the United States, original Rough Rider himself, Mr. Teddy Roosevelt. Guys, if you're familiar with current pop culture, current music, a very famous singer graduated from Roosevelt High School. His name is Peter Hernandez. Now, if you don't know him by that name, pretty much the rest of the world knows him nowadays as Mr. Bruno Mars, graduated from Roosevelt High School. Yes. Now, all the houses that you see here into the mountain, into the hillside, this whole area is called Papa Kolea. Everybody say Papa Kolea. Papa Kolea, back then you see Hawaiians, they named areas and places after certain things, like how they felt spiritually, what they see, weather, plants, animals, things like that. This area is home to the Kolea bird. Now, Kolea in Hawaiian is the Pacific golden plover bird, which is this little guy right here on the right-hand side. He kind of popped out. I called for him. He was, this is our meet-up place right here. But you'll see him right there. This little stilt bird. Yeah, he looks like a little kiwi bird right there. That is the Pacific golden plover bird. Now, its home is not in Hawaii, it's in the Aleutian Islands off the coast of Alaska. Will come here to Hawaii, nest lay its eggs, hence the name Papa Kolea, or the Plover Flats. Now, Papa Kolea is more commonly referred to as one of the designated areas throughout the state of Hawaii that is on Hawaiian homestead land. You see, back then there was a man by the name of Prince Jonah Kalane Ana Ole Kuhio Pi'i Koi. Now let's all say that name. we'll go with Prince Jonah then. Prince Jonah, right? Now, Prince Jonah, he was the only person of royalty, monarch, to ever have served as a delegate in Congress. Now, back then, he fought for land to be given back to the Hawaiian people. Now, the U.S. government finally released about 200,000 acre state. Nowadays, that waiting list is quite extensive. My best friend, for example, when his grandmother passed away, she was on the waiting list for 47 years, and her name was never pulled. So it's basically like you are winning the lottery if you're one of the lucky ones. But if you are one of those ones that your name chosen, whether you want to use it for domestic use, you want to build a house, or agricultural purposes, you want to make a farm, grow crop, things like that. And there's a strict difference between the two. If you become a farmer on that land, you cannot build a house on that land. So you got to decide beforehand. So whether or not you want to use it for either or, and as long as you can keep that land in your family, cousins, uncles, aunties, brothers, sisters, whatever it may be, as long as that land stays within your family, then that land is yours for a period of 99 years, a total cost of $1 per year land tax. That's it. Now, in fact, even after that 99 years, if you can still provide proper paper documentation that the land has stayed and will continue to stay within your family, then that land is basically given back to your family. So quite a phrase that's kind of quite often used here in Hawaii, putting Hawaiian lands right back into Hawaiian hands. Now, unfortunately for myself, I am unable to apply for Hawaiian homestead land. Neither are my children. I have 2 daughters. Now, by raise of hands, how many of you, when you got on the bus, you thought I was native Hawaiian? Raise your hand. How many of you guys was thinking something else? How many of you even care what I'm talking about anymore? The other island, Upolu, that is what was known as Western, lived anywhere else. I have never moved anywhere else. I'm not native born, but I guess, I'm locally grown. Yes, I'm locally grown in the state of Hawaii. Now, enough about myself, moving on here. Next to the Royal Elementary School, this is actually the oldest elementary school in the state. Before, if you're only the child of the Ali'i, everybody say Ali'i. Ali'i is like you have chiefly status. So only if you had monarchy, blood, chiefly blood, your child was able to attend this school. But next to that, here on the left-hand side, it's got a rusty gates and this rock wall. This is the prestigious Pacific Club of Hawaii. Now, the reason why I say this is the fact that it used to be of a home of a woman by the name of Princess Miriam Likelike. She was the sister of the last reigning monarchy here in the islands, King David Kalakaua, Pacific Ocean. Now, it's got 8 main pillars in the center represents the 8 main Hawaiian islands, but they got so intricate with tying the details of the islands to this building. There is 100 who did a lot of humanitarian work, missionary, for those who are suffering from Hansen's disease or leprosy on the island of Molokai in a town called Kalaupapa. But above him, there's that circle there that is the state seal of Hawaii. On the top is the state of Hawaii 1959. Of course, August 1959 when Hawaii became a part of the United States. And then at the bottom, a long sentence in Hawaiian that reads, "Uamau ke ea o kaina I kapono." In other words, the life of the land is perpetuated in its righteousness. That's the state motto for Hawaii. Now, on the right-hand side, this little cottage, this house right here, this is the governor's mansion. It's called Washington Place. Governor of Hawaii resides in this house. China. If you guys can imagine this, over 200,000 Japanese troops marching on the Great Wall of China. That was how extensive the Japanese force was into Asia at that time. President of the United States turned around and simply said this, quote unquote, slow it down, on oil into Japan. Now at that time, the United States supplied 80% of Japanese oil. Now secondly, they put an embargo or stoppage on scrap metal. Now for those of you on this bus who have no idea what the heck scrap metal is or what it's used to make, it's used for a variety of different uses, weapons, ships, melted down for bullets, things like that. So they put an embargo on that. Lastly, they told Japan that they were not allowed
Is that where Papa 따라가면 엄마가 같이
Below that, under the water is.
Fine. It's still raining, but
Below that, under the water is.